The big political story down south, a mega swearing-in ceremony in Vijayawada with the Prime Minister amongst a host of national leaders in attendance as N Chandrababu Naidu took charge again as Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. It's a TDP-led NDA government with 25 ministers including Naidu, his son Nara Lokesh, Janasena Chief Pawan Kalyan as Deputy Chief Minister. One key aspect of the Naidu 4.0 is the first-time cabinet ministers, 17 of the 25, including Kalyan himself. Is Naidu's new cabinet as much about cementing place for generation next of the TDP and Andhra Pradesh as it is about pushing change for the state? Uma Sudhir and Aishwarya Jain report.
N Chandrababu Naidu, Sri Pawan Kalyan.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi with newly sworn-in Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N Chandrababu Naidu and the man who would be his deputy Pawan Kalyan. The power star requesting the PM for a meeting with his brother, megastar Chiranjeevi.
Megastar Chiranjeevi.
Megastar, power star, superstar Talaiva Rajnikant Garini.
There was the superstar Rajnikant too, as also a galaxy of union ministers, Amit Shah, JP Nadda, Nitin Gadkari, Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and several others. The optics conveying how the NDA government led by Chandrababu Naidu in the state would work with the NDA government at the centre.
Andhra Pradesh would hope that the show of bonhomie would extend beyond the optics to real help for the state that is arguably in dire straits financially and is hoping to conquer many new milestones armed with the blessings and mandate by the people.
Nara Chandrababu Naidu ane nenu.
Chandrababu Naidu 4.0, with his 74-year-old taking oath for the fourth time as Chief Minister, includes 17 first-time ministers in the 25-member cabinet. With 3 ministers from the Janasena and Satyakumar Yadav from the BJP.
Nara
Lokesh, who became minister the last time through the MLC route, is seen to have come of age as a politician after his 3,000-kilometer Yuvagalam Padayatra across the state. The team includes 3 women and a minister from the minority Muslim community. There are 5 Kammas, 4 Kapus, 3 Reddys, 8 BC, 1 Vaisya, 2 SC and 1 ST community representative. Chandrababu Naidu has said the historic mandate is a responsibility and his first priority would be to build the state capital at Amravati.
ప్రజలు గెలిచారు రాష్ట్రాన్ని నిలబెట్టే బాధ్యత ఇక్కడుండే శాసన సభ్యులపైన మనందరిపైన ఉంది ఈ విషయం మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది.
Chandrababu Naidu has made it clear that Pawan Kalyan will be his deputy, the number 2 in his cabinet. Administratively, he would hope that the 17 new ministers will bring new energy, new ideas and innovative thinking to complement the experience of the seniors. Politically, having a new team can also make it easier and smoother for Lokesh to be elevated to the top eventually. With Aishwarya Jain in Vijayawada with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Well, that's the most important point that we're picking up for discussion this evening. Joining us this evening, Aishwarya Jain from Vijayawada, my colleague Uma Sudhir, who just filed that report from Hyderabad, senior journalist Ramesh Kandula, and political analyst Anurag Naidu. Aishwarya Jain, if I can come to you first, in Vijayawada, if there is one political message today above everything else from the newly sworn-in cabinet, what would that be?
Well, good cooperation with the centre and the economy that Andhra Pradesh needs to revive as something that had been the message from that swearing-in ceremony, as we saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi hugging Chandrababu Naidu after he took oath for the Chief Minister. Message was loud and clear with the attendance of Home Minister Amit Shah, Bharatiya Janata Party President JP Nadda, along with several NDA members sitting in that on that particular stage, saying that loud and clear that Chandrababu Naidu is with the NDA and he has full support to Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the centre, and with the cooperation they will take Andhra Pradesh forward. Of course, there had been several leaders after the swearing-in ceremony that spoke to us clearly stated that the first most priority of Andhra Pradesh government would be to revive the economy,
Right.
would be to give 20 lakh jobs as promised, and also to build Amravati as single city. And to fulfill those promises, they need huge amount of funds, and therefore the reason perhaps cooperation with centre and working with Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very important.
Right. As you make that point, Uma Sudhir, we just saw that report that you had filed. Is this as much about all that Aishwarya says, but also about cementing Gen Next for the TDP and Andhra politics in general? Because the two Gen Nexts in Andhra politics could well be Nara Lokesh and Pawan Kalyan.
Yes, indeed. With a very weakened opposition, in fact, that space is going to be opened up a little. Only 11 MLAs. So how much can Jagan Mohan Reddy manage to do in that space? And Pawan Kalyan and the Janasena certainly want to grow. So right now, for Chandrababu Naidu as well, politically, it is good to have Pawan in his own camp and closest to him. If Pawan Kalyan decides eventually to move out and carve his own niche outside of this kind of a government setup, then political trouble actually starts a little more for Chandrababu Naidu, and that is something that he will worry about. The young cabinet, in that sense, new faces, 17 new faces in a 25-member cabinet is huge, because many of them actually are first-time MLAs as well. And all of them, if Chandrababu Naidu is going to induct, hopefully they'll bring the energy, the kind of new ideas that that a state like Andhra Pradesh needs now very, very desperately, because they really feel that they lost out a lot in the last 10 years of not having a capital and so on. And therefore, that energy. But politically, you are right that while he has very clearly said, yesterday there was this messaging, when the meeting was going on with the NDA, with Purandareshwari and Pawan Kalyan, and on the dais there were two chairs of one sort for Purandareshwari and Pawan Kalyan, and Chandrababu Naidu had been given a more ornate chair, and he said, no, I don't want that, I want a chair just like the others. So the optics was as important for Chandrababu Naidu to convey that I'm treating them all as equals, and that the respect that they deserve, the place, that political space that Pawan Kalyan deserves, he will get it. And that's something that's politically critical for him as well. But yes, having new ministers in the team, maximum numbers, could eventually make the challenges of Lokesh's elevation to the top higher, because someone like Kesineni Nani, who was Vijayawada MP of the Telugu Desam, actually left the party and went to the YSRCP because he did not want to accept Lokesh as his leader.
Right, Ramesh, when we look at purely the TDP-JSP relationship, how do you see this evolving? Because we also are looking at this term of Naidu to cement the Gen Next leadership of the TDP potentially. How do you see this evolving, both between personalities and between vote bases of the two political parties?
I see a new political reality has dawned in Andhra Pradesh. It's a new experience even for CBN. The fact that Chandrababu Naidu is actually running a coalition government in Andhra Pradesh, even though he did not require the support of either Janasena or BJP, that speaks volumes of this new reality. Because he has to take along both Janasena and BJP with him. And the CBN has been trying to be very pragmatic this time. That's why he did not make any demands even on the center in terms of portfolios for his ministers. Within the state, I think he is going to give a lot of importance to Janasena, not because he requires their support. He has more than enough numbers, more than 2/3 majority in Andhra Pradesh. But the new political reality is such that unless he takes along Janasena and Pawan Kalyan with him, I think the optics would be going sour for him. And as for Lokesh, the idea was to anoint him as successor. But now I think with Jansena on the stage, the plans to anoint Lokesh as his successor will have to wait a little longer.
Right. Okay. You're making an important point. Anurag Naidu, would you agree that this is
Kalyan,
not
having
the
Pawan
time
Kalyan
to
on his
cement
side is safer for
succession
him?
as far as the TDP is concerned? That's right. As Uma is saying, having Pawan Kalyan on the side is safer. But is this the time when you see the chessboard moving towards a succession plan, or will that have to wait possibly towards the end of this term?
That certainly will have to wait for the time being, because Chandrababu Naidu has a lot on his plate.
You'll have to
and
unmute
the
yourself.
vote is really not
You'll
for
have to
Nara
unmute
Lokesh.
yourself,
Though we are talking
Anurag
about
Naidu.
Nara Lokesh as someone who has
Yes.
evolved now.
Yeah, Veera, is that to me?
Go ahead, Naidu.
Sorry, Uma. Yeah. Yes. So
No,
Veera,
I'll just get to you in a bit. Anurag, just quickly make your point, please.
Veera, I think these are the good times, and any politician would like to have a succession plan in place, rolling out when the time is good. And I strongly feel that there'll not be much of a delay in Lokesh's appointment as the party president. And there was a very strong voice within the party. And also, you see this cabinet. There are 165 MLAs, with the entire coterie, and out of the close to 136 with TDP. If you see this cabinet, majority of them are pro-Lokesh guys. The seniors have been left out. The big wigs like Ganta Srinivas, the big wig like Butcha Chaudhary Garu, the big wig like Ayana Pathur, they're all been left out. This is a pure Lokesh favorite cabinet. So it is all signaling that the first 2.5 years is going to be this team. And there might be a change because there are more aspirants in the party, having had so many MLAs. So Lokesh would love to work with this close confidence in the cabinet, and then Lokesh is the helm of the party affairs. So for me, it totally makes sense for Lokesh to take on the party position now, because you don't know what is going to be the equations in the last 2.5 years. One second very important thing, Veera, for me in terms of optics.
Right.
Prime Minister taking along Pawan Kalyan and Chiranjeevi waving to the people. Is it a symbolic gesture to the Kapu vote bank, 27% Kapu vote bank of the state? You have to see it was a special gesture taken by the Prime Minister. Prime Minister of India do not do anything just like that. So it is a calculated move. So we need to see how things evolve. Let's also not forget, Veera, in the last 10 years, I have not seen Amit Shah, JP Nadda, and BL Santosh landing one day before in the evening in a state capital, waiting to meet the chief minister of the state and taking an appointment and ending up with one cabinet minister. So we are one short. There's 25 ministers taken oath. Total tally is 26. Is that one number that has been left out? Is a trade-off between the speaker position or any other cabinet minister in the expansion of BJP? We need to see. Mr. Naidu certainly is looking at something, some good negotiations going on. I think we still have to see what kind of the situation will evolve.
This is the importance of Vijayawada and, may I add, Patna in Indian politics in this term, Anurag Naidu, that we will have to see those symbolic aspects. But Uma, you've heard the comments that have been made. One aspect of it is Pawan Kalyan himself being the deputy chief minister, establishing that chemistry between TDP and JSP. But more importantly, there is an ongoing chemistry between the two of them. Let's not forget Pawan Kalyan was instrumental in bringing the BJP and TDP together. How do you see the TDP's own succession plan play out in this kind of a political situation? Very briefly.
So Anurag is right that the first 2.5 years, 3 years, I certainly don't expect any changes, because the mandate is really very clearly for rebuilding of Andhra Pradesh, and that mandate has actually come with a lot of weight of the Chandrababu Naidu kind of performance in government and as a chief minister as well. But yes, eventually it is Lokesh who will have to be elevated in the Telugu Desam. That would certainly be the plan of Mr. Naidu, and therefore the last couple of years the changes may occur. And the second pointer about the Prime Minister actually waving the hands, I would, the visual also shows Pawan Kalyan actually whispering in the ears of the Chief of the Prime Minister, and he directs him towards Chiranjeevi, and therefore I think it's a directed kind of a shot that eventually came about, that became the picture of the day, with the Prime Minister actually holding the hands of the mega star and the power star and waving to the crowds there. But yes, BJP also has political ambitions in Andhra Pradesh, remember that. And therefore, the 8 seats that they won this time certainly was on the strength of the TDP and the Janasena batting for them on the ground. But they would want their own political growth as well. And that's the reason why Satya Kumar Yadav has been chosen there. He's a BJP man, BJP man. And the second point is, yes, the BJP is also looking for a star value like a Pawan Kalyan to act on their behalf in a state like Andhra Pradesh, where then they will hope that they can add to the momentum of a Pawan Kalyan's Janasena and go forward. That could also be a plan that the BJP could adopt.
Very quickly, Aishwarya, you're the man on the ground closest to all those whispers. Very, very briefly, just let's say 10, 20 seconds. What are you hearing? Are you hearing anything concrete about what the strategy of the TDP as far as the next 5 years is concerned?
Well, many of the TDP leaders have openly stated that they are going with the NDA. In fact, Nara Lokesh also pointed out that, TDP doesn't negotiate for posts, they negotiate for funds. And that is what they wanted from the center. As long as that is going well enough, then there is nothing wrong in it. As far as TDP is concerned, what will be their future course of action? What will be their inner strategy? Many of the leaders have suggested that the organization structure that they have currently, they will stick to that because they have got a great mandate under this structure in the recently held elections.